So, hey guys, it's Mijaelle. Welcome to Heartbeat. Today we're with Peter Sklair, who is a freelance bassist. He's a composer, a jazz educator, and he's also performed in clubs, festivals, TV, and studio. He has got so much knowledge, and he's had so much experience in the industry as well. So I know you're gonna love it. Cool. Okay, so Peter, how did music play a role in your childhood and your upbringing?
Okay, so my dad is a musician, my brother is a guitarist, so there was a lot of music always in the house as I grew up. So without really being formally educated, it's exactly like what we were talking about before we started, is that just it was music in the environment, and it was more osmosis than any sort of formal education.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Process. Yeah.
What do you think makes a great musician?
A couple of things spring to mind. Firstly, I think a great musician should be able to communicate with people and move people in their emotions.
Yeah.
And speak to them. So that for me is a great musician. It's not necessarily about being technically,
accurate,
very proficient or flamboyant. But it's if you can move people emotionally and spiritually, then I think that's a sign of a great musician.
And then how do you balance the technical side and then the intuitive, heartfelt when you're composing music? How do you use them both to create a song?
For me, music is about communicating with people and talking to their emotions and actually transporting them maybe from their lives where they got maybe problems or things that's really freaking them out, and then they come and hear music and all of a sudden their moods can change.
Yeah.
And you can actually transport them to another world, and that's a sign of good music to me. If you can be waking up in a bad mood and you get in your car and then some song comes on the radio and all of a sudden you don't feel so bad anymore. Maybe you actually feel great. But you don't know how that happened. For me, that's the magic of music. So, there are technical aspects to it, and one shouldn't run away from the technical side of it, and one should try and master as much of the technical side as possible. But in the end, it's all the technique in the world doesn't really have a lot of meaning unless you can communicate and transport people to these different places and be some sort of healing. So we speak about healing, and your mom's involved in healing. So I think music is actually part of that.
So then, do you believe in the research as well that it's shown that, for example, if you listen to a song that has 60 beats per minute, which is your heart rate, that it actually has a really soothing effect on you, and then if you choose a song that makes you feel good, that actually talks about love or whatever, that actually really does affect your body and your mental state because it really gets in there?
Well, I don't know too much about the research that you're speaking of, and I don't know how technically accurate it is. It may very well be, but I can just only comment on what I've seen with people when you play, and all of a sudden they're different people for just that moment that you're playing, or maybe a short while after. It's you've taken them somewhere else. Something has happened to their emotions and spiritually. It could be even a negative thing, I suppose, if you had aggressive music or something like that.
Yeah.
You could get people into a negative frame of mind. I think of people who do like marching music, people going to war. It could also shift people's emotions, or patriotic songs.
Yeah.
So music is quite powerful and probably should be handled a little bit cautiously. But the way we experience it is generally uplifting for people.
Awesome, man.
And it's uplifting also to make it. It when some days you're doing it and it is sort of a technical exercise, and you've got to be quite focused on making sure you don't make mistakes. But but really when it's at its best is when you get transported as well, and the listeners are also transported at the same time. So that's when it's really working properly. But it's mysterious. Some days it's there, some days it's not. So getting back to your question about the composing, in the technical aspects, yes, you should bear them in mind. But if you're not actually shifting people's moods or communicating with them, then that's not really...
It's kind of empty.
Yeah.
Do you keep in mind then the audience when you're working on a studio album or when you're performing, to specifically feel where they're going? For example, in a live performance, you would actually feel how the audience is going, and then would you adjust things for them? Or in a studio album, do you think, okay, I've got to really feel what someone listening to this feels? Because it's very different when you're making music sometimes to actually step back and listen to it from a different perspective, you know?
I think it's easier in a live situation because you can really tell. I mean, if nobody's applauding or if the people are walking out on you,
no one's engaged.
You know, you can see, well, maybe you need to shift what you're doing to try and speak a language that they can understand.
Yeah.
You know. So in a recording situation, I think it's a bit more difficult. It's because obviously you can't actually tell.
No reference. Yeah.
But of course you can gauge on yourself. You can maybe gauge on the people who you're working with. But it is mysterious. It's very difficult to get your finger on exactly what people like. It's kind of magical.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, because I mean, we're all so different as on, so unique, and I think sometimes you can get lost if you think too much about what other people would like, because there are a million different likes and dislikes in the world, you know. You're never going to please everybody.
This is true.
Yeah.
and also you can listen to a piece of music one day and it's like, this is the best music I've ever heard, and then another day you listen to it and it doesn't speak to you.
Yeah.
It's very mysterious.
Okay, so you're part of the group Unofficial Language. How did you guys meet, and what made you realize that you had a synergy?
Okay, where did we meet? I think I first met the drummer Herman. I think he was the boyfriend of one of the girls in our social circle, and I was up and coming, and then I think we actually played on the same concert, which is when I played with a band called Estudio, and he was in the support band. And then, you know, as time went by, we managed to play together, and we found we had a great connection.
Yeah.
And we worked together quite a lot, doing some various projects, and then we were looking for additional people to play with because we were just bass and drums. And Paul Hanmer, who'd recently come up to Johannesburg from Cape Town, also seemed to just click in with us, and so that's how Unofficial Language came together. And but it was a band that came about from jamming. We were never like, we've got a project that we want to do commercially. It's like, no, we just used to love to get together and play, and that's how it started. And eventually we did make some recordings, but the initial goal of the band was not to get out there particularly. It was just, we love playing with each other. It's like, come, let's just get together and play.
Yeah.
So that's, it came from the very right intentions.
Very natural and easy, yeah.
Yes.
That's nice. I like that.
And
nothing forced, you know?
Yeah, we would, someone would bring a song or a song that we liked, or an original composition. And we say, well, let's just try it and play it, and then we would just jam it. Or we would just often have like these free jams where there was no particular composition that we were trying to play. We were just sort of exploring together on a voyage. So, we grew from a very good intention.
Yeah. Can you describe maybe one of the performances that stands out to you as being like, yeah, that was a great evening, everybody worked well together, everything felt right?
Okay, there's one that springs to mind, which is when we played at Opikopi with Unofficial Language. And I think we were scheduled to go on for about 45 minutes. And we spontaneously started jamming on the stage, and the audience was really with us. And I think we looked around, and it was like a couple of hours later and we were still playing. And
oh wow.
it's just like we'd gone on this journey, and the audience was with us. And we're not really sure what we did that night, but everybody who was there remembers it as being like just an incredible night.
Now, what is one of the greatest things you've learned from your journey with jazz music?
Okay, one of the greatest things that I've learned is that music has been a very big healer for myself in my own personal life. And the fact that I do it is, you know, some people go and meditate, or, you know, go on maybe long walks or something like that to shift their spirit. But I realized that playing music actually is very beneficial to me psychologically as well, and spiritually as well. And the days when sometimes if there isn't too much music work going on, you know, the first couple of days are not too bad, but after a while, you know, I can feel myself feeling some sort of uneasiness.
Yeah.
And it's definitely sort of my meditation as well. So it's really been a gift to me to be able to make music.
Awesome. Hey guys, that's part 1. Stay tuned for part 2, where Peter will be talking about jazz education, touring with Katherine Jenkins, also things like innovation in jazz and working in a jazz ensemble. So have fun, see you next time.